It's something you've been doing as long as I've known you. And if I would have known that all it would have took was just buy him a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
That's all he needs. Say David Goggins, though.
Oh,
he's somewhere working out right now.
Yeah.
He's somewhere right
I
now.
hope you ain't on the couch being a bitch.
Getting it in, yeah. So, when I'm slipping, I think
Yeah. What would David say right
whoop
here?
my ass if he found me. Yeah.
You know when I did this? I don't want that.
Yeah. Luckily, you got a podcast.
Yeah. What up, Trailblazers? Welcome back. My name is Collegiate, a.k.a. K1, and I'm joined by my homie, Jok Kut, okay?
Yes, sir.
Before we continue, drop a fire emoji in the chat to help us with the YouTube algorithm, and it'll get to the people that need to hear from hear from people like our guest today. So it's not easy to run a podcast. You got to deal with equipment, editing, scheduling guests, ideating, finding the right people, and we want to grow this podcast. So please leave a 5-star review. It don't take nothing from you. You helping the channel. So like the video, share the episode with a friend. All right, guys. Today, we are joined by a great friend.
Yes, sir.
My brother. A comedian. A producer.
I do that.
An eclectic soul.
Certainly.
One of one.
One.
Trailblazers, please help me in welcoming Jok Kut
Yes, sir.
to the podcast.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate you having me on here. This is an exciting opportunity. And like you said, just watching you set up, it's definitely a difficult process.
Yes.
To get a podcast running. So definitely show your support. Share it to your friends. It should be a good episode.
Bro, thank you for that.
Of course.
Jok,
Yeah.
give some of these ambitious people some tips, just in general, especially to the Sudanese community, because I know you work with employing them, and just any ambitious tips, bro.
Yeah, certainly. I would say, perception is reality. So when you go into employment, you don't necessarily dress for the job you have. You dress for the job you want to have, the goals you inspire to have. And also, give yourself a chance. It's about being in the right state of mind. It's about being in a positive mood. It's about being focused and driven. All of that reflects, you only get one chance at a first impression. So you guys have to make sure that you show yourself in the most positive light.
Yes. I be telling people all the time, be yourself, but also you have to kind of evolve yourself in order to align with the life that you want. Mm-hmm. Like, you might not wear a suit and tie and whatnot, but you can still kind of dress nice in your own way.
Yeah, precisely.
So it's like, oh, he's kind of dressing business casual, but he got his, little style, little flair to him,
Yep. Absolutely. And I think you do have to, kind of read the room, get the temperature of the room, fit into the environment, and then allow your personality and what you bring to the table and use that to stand out. All of us are different. All of us are unique, and all of us are very exciting in our own ways. And there's only one of us. So find a good way to show that in every opportunity you have.
Hell yeah. So when you were manifesting the life that you live currently, what were some of them introspective questions you asked yourself?
Oh, man. I would often question how people perceive me, specifically as, a Sudanese male in Nebraska. I would kind of piece together the different responses I would get from people who I would meet. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes, you would get the, you speak so good English. Your English is so good.
You're very articulate.
Yes, or else the gentle... where are you from? And I would have a lot of
all the time.
Yeah, a lot of fun with that, And so I would say, well, I'm from Minnesota.
Yeah.
What do you mean where I'm from? And then so you'd get to know.
No, where you really from? And so I would tell them, because obviously you have to be proud of where you're from. And there's some people who are genuinely interested. There's other people who
just want to
Just
tell you,
poke it.
they just want to tell you a story
true.
about someone else they know
from
somewhere in Africa because they think everyone in Africa knows everyone else in Africa.
Are you related to what's in what?
Yeah. So it's exciting too. Like I said, people have their preconceived notions, and it's not necessarily my job to be like, hey, we're good people too.
Yeah.
But I take every opportunity that I meet with someone to share something special about my culture and my personality. Like, hey, I'm a fun guy.
Yeah.
And since you came up, let me treat you.
Yeah.
Let me treat you to me. So it's exciting.
Okay. So, Jok, this podcast is designed to provide listeners with a certain and a specific mindset and a perspective that will allow them to have the proper tools. We want to encourage people to get off the fence, take that leap of faith, start their journey, and stop overthinking. So to fully understand how we got to this point, we want to know where it all started and what were the key moments in your life that led you there. Yeah. So give the listeners a bit of a background about yourself, where you're from, what your childhood experience was like, leading up to high school, and then we'll transition to another chapter.
Absolutely. I'll try to keep this quick. Yeah. So we immigrated to the United States as refugees around 93, 94 through a Catholic service program. So at that point, we relocated to Portland, Maine. At this time, I'm about 2.5, 3. Yeah. So I just remember little bits and pieces. But shortly after that, and there was quite a few of us who came to the United States, so it was almost a full house. That's something that's important about my background. There's nothing more, special, especially when you're starting from zero to something. Just to have a loving group of people with you and around you. The house is always bustling. Yeah. So eventually we would move to Rochester, Minnesota. Yeah. Right before winter started, actually. So coming from South Sudan, coming from Portland, to see your first snow, it was like wow. Yeah. It was truly amazing. We were overdressed for the winter. We have hilarious pictures of us and all types of
stuff.
Yeah, just costumes. Calling costumes and so that was exciting. I did all of my schooling from Head Start all the way. I did all my schooling here in the United States. So that kind of has a lot to do with maybe why I don't have an accent. And I have a theory on that. I think there's a certain age where you can come to the United States and you'll still retain your accent. But me being so young, I didn't have that. Yeah. So, living in Rochester, Minnesota, we moved a lot, like a lot of Sudanese families.
Yeah, all the time.
We moved a lot just trying to kind of, plant our roots. So, in the conflict in Sudan, unfortunately, not everybody made it. So, it was me, my mom, some of her brothers. So, I was raised in a single-parent household, and she was just at work, just trying to survive. Which, is unimaginable to me. I could imagine coming here to the United States.
Those shoes, that's crazy when I think about it.
Not knowing the language, you know what I mean? Having to kind of teach yourself the basics to survive, and yet you have children at home to care for. So
pressure.
So she did it, right? And I get to sit here with you. Shout out moms. Yeah. Obviously, our parents know each other, so we can't give enough credit to them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
the backbone, bro.
This is all thanks to them, and they did it, without complaining once, which is unheard of.
I'm like, damn, I complained a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's because their why was a lot bigger. Yeah. So they did put those kind of like those day-to-day struggles to the side because they knew like in the future it'd pay off. So it's kind of like trying to show them how they kind of went through those trials and tribulations. And now I'm like, okay, if my mom didn't complain about X, Y, and Z, I shouldn't really have a reason to complain.
Precisely. And looking back on it, oh man, I cringe. The things that I complained about, as a child. And so it's like it just makes you really, really appreciate the things that you have and the things that you've gone through as well. And so, growing up in Minnesota, it was It was, I mean, it was awesome, right? In those situations, Minnesota is a sanctuary state.
Yep.
So I grew up around a lot of people who are from Bosnia, who are from Somalia, who are from Cambodia, who are Vietnamese, who are Laotian. We have
Yeah.
Native American people. So this was a tremendous melting pot. And for those who don't know, when you immigrate to the United States, they have these courses that are called second language learning courses. Or
Yeah.
here, they call them ELL.
Yep.
Yeah.
It used to be ESL, but now it's ELL.
Yeah, in Minnesota, it was ESL. So I was in a lot of those classes with a lot of people who were from different places. So that made me really cultured. It was fascinating.
Yeah.
You just get to learn about so many people who are similar circumstances, and we all have similar stories, but yet very different. And so you look back on that, you kind of get to appreciate the freedoms that exist for us here in the
Without a
United
doubt,
States.
bro.
So it was awesome. One of the things that I learned in that environment in a I can't think of the name, public housing.
Yep.
You just
Section A, public housing. Yeah, all that.
Yeah. So we used to actually have the paper food stamps.
Yeah.
I remember
that.
Yeah. So that was exciting. And so you kind of learn how to make friends.
Yes.
That's one of the qualities that I have. I would argue that that's the reason why I'm here with
That's
you.
your gift,
right?
bro.
That's my
That's
gift.
for sure.
I still have friends, from when we were in preschool.
Yeah.
And so we would kind of learn English together. So that was exciting. I did all of my schooling in Minnesota. I moved to Nebraska when I was in 8th grade. So I wasn't really happy about that, but
For sure.
we were here, and at this time, I started kind of find myself in basketball.
Yes.
Yeah, in basketball.
Hooper.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so I kind of started to figure out that if you effectively communicate with people, if you can communicate with people and convey your message, but also be a better listener,
Yes.
that's going to take you further in life.
Yes, that's a great skill to have. Because, it takes time to build that skill.
Yeah.
And it takes reps. Yeah. And you started at 8th grade. So when you first came, color, right?
Yeah.
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 So when you first came, did it have some sort of the same kind of feel of diversity at color that you experienced in Rochester?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Color was it was very much so the same. And so I would kind of try at this point. I would try to do more listening than talking.
Yep.
I just kind of like to sit in the background and kind of watch how things played out. So I would meet a lot of people playing basketball. So, when you have a single parent, she's not always around to go catch every single game.
Thanks.
So I probably started in 6th grade. So I was just out there hooping. Not sure why. I didn't have any plans to take it anywhere.
Yeah,
but I just did it because I liked it.
Yeah.
And I really like playing defense too. I like to do the things that other people didn't like to do. And I realized back then that would make, if I could make the hard things easy, then the easy things would be a piece of cake.
Yeah.
So I did that, and so that was a lot of fun. And so I get to color. I mean, we
That's crazy. When you first heard that you was going to color, what'd you think?
Okay.
Like the name of color.
Okay, I thought it was a weird name.
Yeah, because go ahead.
But I had options. It was either North Star Middle School, because at this time North Star was so new. North Star was still middle school. It was either North Star or color. And so I don't know. Somebody said something to discourage me from North Star, so I just went to color. But anyway, it was just for a short period of time. Anyway, and then the next year I would end up going to North Star. So at this time I kind of started to see that, hey, I'm kind of good at this basketball thing. I kind of knew who I wanted to be at this point, and how I wanted to be perceived.
Yeah.
And how that meshed in with how people perceive me already.
Yeah.
And so
since we talking about that, if you could travel back to the 18-year-old Jok, what would you tell him?
Oh, 18. I'd probably go back to 15. That's what I would go back to. And then I would tell him that, the structure, right? Because I like to relate the things that I'm doing for them to make sense.
Yeah.
You know, I'm more of a hands-on learner. So I would say the same structure that exists in a basketball team, that everybody has their positions, their roles, but ultimately at the end, without a team, you're not going to win.
Facts.
You need to apply that to life, right? And so start to build your team, start to build those relationships.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, it's not always about winning, but it's about trying your best. That's going to get you far.
Facts. Okay. What were you certain that you were going to do after high school? What was your aspirations?
Moving out the house.
Yeah.
That was my plan. Even at that point, I feel like I didn't push myself hard enough to really take things seriously. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't have role models kind of tell me, hey, what these things were going to look like. So I really had no idea. So I was going more day to day.
Yeah.
And kind of figuring out as I go.
Yep.
So I mean, that's just kind of what I was doing. I was going to go with the flow.
Giving yourself that space to be curious.
Yeah.
So that's definitely important. So what were some of the biggest hurdles coming out of high school? Like, were you pressured to go to college? Parents wanting you to go down a certain path, you know?
Yeah. It seemed like the right thing to do, right? The stereotypical thing to do was to go to college and then find a career and go through that. But it just didn't feel right at that time in my life. I feel like the type of structure that I was under didn't allow me to really live and get the life experience that I wanted, to really be sure about the things that I wanted to do. I felt I was going to college because that's what I was supposed to do versus that's what I wanted to do.
Facts.
And I like to have that choice.
Yeah, because like when I think about it, I wouldn't say it's a guilt trip, but it's like our parents came over here so we can get that, that secondary education and have that opportunity. So it's kind of like I'm gonna honor them, get this for them, but also like get it in something that I appreciate and enjoy.
Yeah. I want to do
but it's like they also don't know like the X amount of loans that I had to get. You know what I'm saying?
Precisely, and that's something that I did take in consideration too. There is that certain. You feel wrong for not doing an aspect, right?
Yeah.
And also, it's difficult to convey this message to them in a way that they're going to understand.
They're going to be accepting of.
Yeah, and so a lot of the Sudanese community, it's a lot of comparing that goes on. Obviously, nothing against the Sudanese community, but not everybody's just cut from the same mold. Just because something's right for someone else, doesn't mean that it's right for me.
They'd be like, "Why aren't you like this person's kid?"
Yeah.
And it's like not fair. I mean, sometimes like not just Sudanese parents, but just parents in general, they want to sort of brag about their kids so they could show like, oh, I'm a good parent, which is valid in a sense, but it's also like kind of detrimental to the kid because it's like it's not really what I want. Yeah. So it's you're gonna have resentment.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you 100%. Of course, every parent wants to brag about your kid, but to ask. Why aren't you like their kid is kind of like a question without offering any input, or even if you do respond, is that answer gonna be good enough?
Facts.
And so it's kind of one of those. Probably just leave it at I don't know.
Yeah.
For now, until I find the right words to say to you. So
okay, so let's talk about artistry a little bit.
Yeah.
Who is an artist that you can relate to the most when it comes to like applying yourself to the world and culture and art?
Oh, that's a super good question. So, right, like I consider a lot of things to be art. I mean, like we were talking about earlier in the podcast, you look at Kobe's work ethic. How can you not consider that art?
Exactly.
Right? I've heard some interviews with players, they consider it torture, but I mean it is art, and I'm really romantic at the idea of fully committing yourself to something, finding something that you love so much that on the outside it probably looks crazy. Yeah. So when it comes to art, I'd say my favorite form of art is music.
Without a doubt.
Oh, man, I love music so much.
What are some of your favorite genres?
Oh, I love it all. So I'm more of a mood DJ.
I was just going to say, like, oh, okay, I'm washing dishes. I'm in this kind of mood.
Yeah, I'm in this kind of mood right here, right? If I'm down and I'm having an awful day and I'm really sad, I have an extremely sad playlist too, right?
Yeah. You curated a good ass playlist.
Yeah, I wanna go to the full range of emotions, in life, because a lot of those sad songs, only really sad, like based off of the tempo,
Yep.
but have an uplifting message at the end of them.
Yeah.
But man, I listen to a lot of old stuff.
Me too.
I'm bad. I listen to a lot of old.
Because
stuff.
like I appreciate rap, but sometimes it doesn't have enough substance, and it's not as fulfilling. So sometimes I go back to like older hip hop just to see kind of like what allowed rap to be birthed. So now I like listen, just like you said, to a whole plethora of different genres, because like it also adds to your kind of creation, ideation, and innovation. Because like you produce beats,
Yep.
and sounds and frequencies.
Yeah.
So like what got you down that path? What was something that is like kind of motivated you to be like, you know what, I'm about to go buy the Akai MPC and start like being curious with it and start making beats and whatnot?
Yeah, so this should have been probably 9th or 10th grade. What really got me started was the lack of a car. We moved to Air Park, so I didn't really have no way to get around.
Yeah.
And my cousin down the street, he's like, check out this, this demo version of FL. I said, what? Okay.
Hey, I do that too.
That's where it all started. So I just had time and opportunity. Plus, I've always been a student of the music, so the idea of making it myself really intrigued me.
Yeah.
And so also I figured down the road, what if I wanted to start rapping? At this time, this was right around the time where I made Screwface. Shout out to Screwface.
Shout out Nero, man.
Screwface and Dodos. These guys, yeah, they have a lot to do with it.
Yes.
So I figured if I wanted to rap, well, okay, how am I gonna get beats? Aha.
Yeah.
Let me start with making beats.
Yeah.
Let me start with making beats. So I started doing that on the demo software you can't save. So for about 2 years I started making beats, and I was skeptical just because you get online for all of the new people who want to produce beats. You're gonna get online. You're gonna watch videos, and every video they're gonna tell you, hey, this is the right way to do it.
Yeah.
So I struggled with that. So I realized, no, there is no right way to do it. So after about 2 years, I decided, let me share this with my friends. And my biggest fear is, people telling me...
Rejection, kind of?
No, I want to get rejected. I just don't want you to lie to me and tell me it's good.
Oh,
right?
yeah. You don't want to have a yes man.
I don't want a yes man.
Yeah.
And then get out there, you get embarrassed. So, tell it to me straight.
Yeah, like, bro, how you going to let me do that?
Yeah, look, you had me out here like this. I don't want friends who going to let you have something in your teeth all day.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me right away. So I played it, and people liked it. I was like, and it's fun. I looked at it as more of a therapy, right?
Yeah.
The idea of an idea,
Yeah.
and bringing it to life was fantastic. And then again, it's a trial software, so I did more with less.
Because low key, I was looking up videos, like starting to make it, and then I was like, okay, this is not my strong suit, but I wanted to try even more just to give myself that chance. So I pirated it. So I found out a way to like get the,
You did what?
I went to torrent, but I never produced anything, so it was all good.
Yeah,
I don't have the laptop anymore.
So clean. Yeah, and I won't admit to doing the same thing, but yeah.
Okay, so who are some like producers that you enjoy listening to that most people wouldn't think?
Oh, that is a good one. So when it comes to like the digital music producing, it's so much different than the instrumental music producing, and I feel guilty. I'm ashamed to admit this. I can't play an instrument.
I know.
So it's kind of a weird process how I go about my work, but I prefer more of the live bands, right?
Yeah.
So can I say producer in the sense of creating it? I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I would say though,
Beatmaker.
Who's my favorite beat maker? Oh man, I right now I'm really listening to a lot of Key Glock.
Key Glock.
I
love.
really
Like we were talking about earlier, tempo. I love the tempo of that Memphis sound.
I don't know something about Memphis right now, and so I like. Also, I like Pop Smoke style of producing too. But I feel like man, they got watered down quick.
Yeah.
They got watered down quick.
Like the the drill beats.
Yeah.
They go hard, especially if you got that voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do go hard. They do really go hard, but
It's predictable.
yeah,
in a sense.
it is predictable in a sense. I just really enjoy key glock a lot. Obviously, nothing against Prime Smoker, that genre, but right now in my life, that's what I really like. But growing up, I forgot if it was Nellyville or Chicken and Beer. One of those was the first two albums that I bought.
Damn.
And so
Chicken and Beer is crazy.
Yes, and growing up in the Sudanese household, all you gotta do is find someone to take you.
Yeah.
and these were explicit albums. Kids shouldn't have these, but
found a way.
Your uncles don't look. You just get a ride there, and you got that. So yeah, huge fan of Nelly, man. And I remember even growing up recording, taking that cassette, waiting for the radio to play your song.
Oh.
And then you press that, and then you record it.
Yep.
Sloppy. You know what I mean? Horrible. So it's kind of weird to exist before the internet. And then watching it grow. And then now.
Look at it.
Where we got everything we want at our fingertips.
Without having to go to an actual physical studio, you can have your own.
They give it away free some places.
I know.
Isn't that nuts?
Bro, when I think about it, one of my first childhood memories of doing anything music-wise was Shake Your Tail Feather was the thing, right? And I love Murphy Lee.
Saint Lunatics.
Yeah, but my mom showed me a long time ago how to, because we would record ourselves speaking on little cassette tape, and then when somebody go to Africa, they would give it to our family or whatever so they could hear us.
Mixtape for y'all.
Yeah.
Right?
And then I was like, wait, next time I hear Shake Your Tail Feather, and when Murphy Lee come on, put the tape in, clap, record.
Be shaking my tail feather forever.
But it's moments like that. I was I first heard myself. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is something, isn't it?
Whoa. Because some people don't like hearing their voice. I wouldn't say I love hearing my voice, but it's I see it as an instrument, and I'm like, how can I use this in different ways?
Yeah, precisely.
And that's why I like Timbaland, because he's trying to be innovative with the vocal cords.
So you've done music before, right?
Yeah.
And you also do this podcast. Have you ever had anyone tell you hey, I don't sound like you? Have you ever gotten that?
There was one time I got my song mixed by a different person, and they were like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're their facial expression was kind of
it was contradicting.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Is that me?
I'm like, is that good or bad when you ask me that?
Yeah.
It was more of intrigued in a sense.
It was intrigued. I've gotten that before too. It seemed intrigued and slightly disappointed.
Yeah,
and that's when I knew I was doing something good.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, well, who'd you think it was? I felt like Batman, kind of in a sense, because I was like, well, I know it's me very well, but people can't distinguish your voice in certain elements, and I don't hit notes or nothing like that. So
just carry a note or whatever.
Well, I'm not much of a singer.
Yeah,
you can ask my dog; she'll tell you. I don't.
Your husky?
Yeah.
What's your husky's name?
Sky.
Sky. Shout out Sky.
Shout out to, she gonna lie. She's gonna love this,
bro. Back on U Street, where we used to live down the street from each other.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out. I gotta download that picture and frame it. Cause I would go down to your crib. This is the first time cameras were we can get not a disposable camera, but a cheap camera.
How did we take that picture?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was my homie Zach Foreman's camera. He let me borrow it for the weekend. I came by. We took that photo. We both wearing 4X tall tees, red.
It was that time.
And then I think hip hop culture is huge, especially in my upbringing, because that's the way that I tried to, kind of fit myself into African American culture.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to understand who I was, battling being Sudanese enough, being African American enough, so I could be accepted, but while honoring both. Because the white people be like, "You black," and then the black people be like, No, you African. You African booty scratcher.
Yep, you.
You Toby.
You 1 minute past 11:59.
Yeah.
and so I'm glad you mentioned that, dude. It was such a weird thing to navigate, right?
Facts.
Particularly for me in school, I always wanted to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you always wanted to follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And if something happens to you, you tell the teacher, they do something about it, and that's the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't the way it went. And so through these three communities, there was a specific way you had to behave. I would get a lot of flack from the Sudanese community because I like to skateboard.
Yep.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You white.
You weird.
You weird. You white. Even some of the African Americans will get you slack.
Yep.
It was a weird time. And so that was just so strange.
I was like, wait.
Why can't I be myself?
Yeah. Let's talk about life.
Yeah. Let's talk about life.
Let's. Oh no, we were talking about my experience being an older brother.
Yeah, dude. So you popped out first.
Yep.
And and there would be more to come.
Yeah.
How lit was that?
It was always like bustling, like you were saying earlier. There's always something going on. Like I didn't know what silence was until I wasn't around my siblings all the time.
It's deafening.
But like things started to change when my dad first left to Africa, like 2000.
I think it's right around the time we met.
Yeah, like the first time he left was like 2003 when we were in Tennessee. He left for like a year, and then when we moved to Lincoln, he left like after a year, and he was gone for like 2 years. So at that point, I had to get a job.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time mom being like, that check, you gonna have to bounce that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yep.
I worked hard for that.
Yep.
And that's when I had the black Accord that my uncle gave me. And so I was like, dang, all I can get is like, oh, I got a $300 check. I get to have $60 that would last me with the gas and some food. Because that money had to go to helping with rent because dad was gone and other utilities and like groceries in the house. So I had to grow up fast and that, I felt like it wasn't fair because I had to grow up fast. I couldn't really do what young kids did other than go to the Shield all the time right after school. But it's like, okay, I have to be kind of the role model in a sense because like if I go down a bad path, my siblings could be like, oh, well, Toot did it.
Yeah, it's okay.
And you guys love him, Yeah. So it was a lot of pressure. Like, it's like a chip on my shoulder, but it helped me a lot to get to where I am now.
Yeah.
Because I had to mature early, and there was a lot of learning experiences that I had to, make me grow wiser and become a more well-rounded human being. But that shit was hard because it's when Dad came back for when I graduated high school. He came by, but then he left again. This is when Chiang was born. He left after he wasn't even like 7 months. And so I pretty much, me and my siblings and my mom pretty much raised Chiang.
Yeah.
And so like, I pretty much treated him like he was my kid. So I was trying to give him everything that I didn't have. Clothes, getting him haircuts, going to the barbershop.
Yeah.
So like, I learned a lot, but I wish I would have got to enjoy my childhood like a lot of kids.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you. I watched my younger brother a lot as well, too. So, and the way I kind of look at that is responsibility is not given; it's accepted.
Facts,
right? Because you could have easily chose to do bad things and be on the streets and not be a good example, but you accepted the challenge that was thrown at you, and it's interesting how time works.
Yeah,
I think that's something that I certainly struggle with today, but especially as a youngster, is how to conceptualize time and how to know what I'm doing today, this week, or this month is going to matter a year from now.
Yep.
Or a couple weeks from now. It's I guess tens of years from now.
Yeah.
Or retirement is
It's
even
crazy.
something. Yeah. It's hard to comprehend. And that's something that I saw too in the staffing world, because I did a lot of recruiting here in Lincoln, and so naturally I'm programmed to help people. So what better opportunity is there than to try to help people find jobs? And so,
very important.
And so one thing that I noticed with younger people or even people who are just kind of struggling to make ends meet is how you conceptualize time.
Yeah.
How does, this 8 hours today help me tomorrow? How do these 40 hours a week help me next week?
Yeah.
And I know people would struggle to do that. And I know if you're kind of in a rough situation, it's hard.
It's hard to think way ahead. I'm trying to battle today.
Exactly. And so that's something that I would, kind of try to explain to people, and it helps me kind of get through by breaking it down, hour by hour.
Yeah.
And then from there, build it up day by day. And then from there, week by week. And then from there, month by month. And then you can kind of start to plan and build up. But it all starts with encouragement, right?
A lot of people don't have that encouragement in life.
Yeah.
They don't have that relationship with somebody to help encourage them. So you're right about that.
Yeah, and especially, when people would be in a rough time and they come into the office, they know their issues and their flaws. I'm not here to,
expose that.
Yeah, I'm not here to yell at you about this or yell at you about that, but to actually make a plan on what we can do to be better. I absolutely, love that job and helping people be successful and stand up on their own,
bro.
But what really hurt was to watch people who I wouldn't say choose to struggle, but aren't doing anything to get themselves out of that situation. That would make me sad. Obviously, it's impossible to do if you take a lot of stuff home with you. But sometimes I would wonder, like, this is a perfectly capable person. What happens when perfectly capable people choose not to believe in themselves? And you can only do so much, but it's like, man, this is rough.
Yeah.
And the years go by fast. Time moves differently once you get out of school.
Yep.
From what I've heard, time goes even faster in a sense. So at least the day-to-day when you have kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? From what I hear, the day goes by quick. So I'm trying to kind of make sense of the past and the now.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, and then kind of plan for tomorrow. It's exciting.
When you work creating these goals, these outlines for people, what extent do you go to help them beyond their personal life?
Well, you see, that's what makes it interesting, because a lot of the positions that we have are going to be your general labor positions. If you try, you can be successful in these jobs. It takes time to build a relationship with someone. So in the initial meeting, you probably have 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's about first making sure they can make it to the job.
That's the big thing.
Your best ability is your availability. Now, once we've shown that you're able to make it to work, big thing the factors in, it's, well, what do you do outside of work?
Yeah.
Particularly with young people, what do you do outside of work? If desperate times call for desperate measures. So people are going to take any position that they can get, and I'm more comfortable finding you a job that's going to work for you versus just any job, because you need one. Because if you accept an opportunity right now and you're not prepared to be successful in it, you could squander it when you need it more down the road.
Oh, without a doubt.
That's dangerous.
Very.
I don't want to see people do that. So I would often ask, what do you do outside of work? Do you get up early? Do you stay up late? Is there something at home that's keeping you up late? You know what I mean? Because 5:30 comes quick.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know what I mean? And also,
especially a labor job.
Yeah, exactly. And also, all right, if you're thinking about, well, I don't want to work second shift because I miss most of the day. Well, why is that? Is it because you have a group of friends who aren't working and you feel like, man, I just want to hang out with those guys? Because that has a lot to do with it.
That makes sense.
And so the one big issue that I've noticed is oftentimes people find that group of people that aren't working either.
Yeah.
And they get used to it and they get comfortable, and that's toxic in a sense.
Oh, yes.
Because when the bills are due, they're not their bills; those are your bills.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to let people know you got to look after yourself first.
Yes.
You
Fill
can't,
your cup
yeah,
first.
you can't help people if you need help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we've tried to put programs in place to where we'd be able to provide transportation for people. The best thing you can do to someone if you want to help them is be honest.
Yeah.
Is to be completely honest.
That's hard, but it'll help them in the long run.
Yeah. And it's not fun. It's hard the first couple times, but it's something that's never going to be fun.
Yes.
And so once you get over that, it's great. It's fun to watch people grow. People really appreciate consistency.
Yeah. And
so,
follow up.
Yeah. And so when you're in staffing, it's important to always put people first. When people go to a staffing agency, the agency needs the people more than the people need the agency.
Facts.
They don't realize that. And so, throughout the weeks, whatever, the worst thing you could do is start looking at people like numbers. Right?
Yeah, because you got to think about, we were asked this question at Leadership Lincoln today, and it made me think about a lot of what I do. There was a box that says, what is it that you do? Because, the story was okay, there's three bricklayers, right? One of them gets asked, hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just building this 10-foot wall. And then another guy's like, oh, I'm here from 8 to 5 and I need a workout. And then the last guy's like, we're building this building so people can have a place to worship and be in a safe, secure place. Yeah. So it depends on how you look at what you do. Yeah. So if you're just doing a job just to do a job, you're not going to give your all, and you're not going to be fulfilled in it.
Nope.
And when I tell a lot of people, siblings, friends, the job that you do, you don't feel the need to have to stay there for until you retire. Yeah. Treat it as a learning lesson. What is this job going to teach you as a human being that is going to make you grow, so you can continue to be of service to the community, to your family, and to your people. So when I ask myself, what do I do? I'm like, okay, I build relationships because relationships are key to building trust. Yep. And being a trusted leader is very important because how am I going to get community members together? Yeah. I have to be trusted in order to help strengthen their neighborhoods to their liking so they can transform and be resident leaders, and also help people get their first homes, because security is very important to kids' well-being and the people that are going to live there. Yeah, precisely. They know where they're going to sleep. That's very key into the Maslow's pyramid of hierarchy. Yeah. You need your physiological needs met first. Mm-hmm. How am I going to ask a person who's struggling day to day, running to service, about, hey, what do you think you need in your community? Bro, I ain't got time to think about that. I gotta find a job. Yeah. I have this kid. I'm a single mom. Yeah. I don't have time to think about that. So it's okay, I need to meet that person where they are so I can help them along the way so they can be active members in their community, so they could be stewards of the land and their community. Yeah. That's how I want people to look at their jobs right now. Yeah. So I think what you're doing is people can see oh, you help people get jobs. Okay, that's one thing. But it's you're helping them build a foundation so they can be fulfilled in the long run. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think as corny as it sounds, everybody does have a value, but we get so caught up in all of the distractions of life that exist right now. And also we just get really busy being ourselves. We get so caught up in being ourselves that
we don't take the time to see how others perceive us.
Yeah.
No, I'm a huge critic of myself. No one beats me up more than myself. And there's times where I gotta like check myself on
Like,
certain things.
chill,
Like if so and so did this, would you treat them like this? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I'm doing myself like that. So I constantly try to check myself, remind myself. Obviously, be hard on yourself, but you gotta give yourself a break.
Yeah, you got to give yourself some compassion too.
Yeah,
like you learning too. You a human.
Yeah, exactly. So that's important, and especially with by building people's trust, you're doing something that's very contagious.
Yes,
and it starts small. It starts quietly, but next thing you know, boom. We grew up in communities like that where we know all of the kids around.
That's such and such kid.
Yeah, that's so kid over there.
Yeah.
Hey, you need a ride to this? You need you remember how close we were as kids? It just made everything feel a little bit safer. I mean, the world was just as crazy back then, but
without a doubt.
But it didn't seem like it.
No.
Right? And that's because we were comfortable where we were at.
Facts.
If you don't know your neighbor and something crazy happens in the world, you're going to be feeling awkward
Yeah,
where you live at.
Damn, I'm really by myself.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's easy to talk to people. It's not every day you get to do something for someone.
Yep.
So, I try to get out there each day and just, talk to someone.
Like I've said on this podcast a lot, I kind of feel I kind of feel, I don't know, not bad. I don't know what the word is, but like when I help somebody and like it helps them accomplish a goal or something, I get a lot of joy from that. So it's like I'm doing it to help them, but also to make me feel fulfilled. Yeah. So it's like I'm gonna scratch your back, you scratch my back.
Yeah. And I know exactly what you're saying. I like to think of it like I help people selfishly.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
I like that.
You know what I mean? Like, because, it's like, it's so easy to be happy for someone.
Yes.
And sometimes we think it's hard to be happy for ourselves. It's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's weird. Because, like, when we were talking before this podcast, we were on the phone. Like, I felt weird when you were like, we need to talk about you and your accomplishments. I feel weird about that because it's like I'm maybe taking something away from somebody.
Yeah.
Because I do so much like, hey, bro, I'm proud of you. Remember when this was an issue for you, but like, look how you handled that with ease.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I can't do it to myself because I almost feel like
I think we come from a culture of where if you do something like that, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's probably why you feel like, you're like, well, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yep.
I should pat myself on the back.
Yeah.
It's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And and I see that, and I see you doing a lot of good things, and it's important to let someone know that, hey, you're kicking tail out there.
Yeah.
Can we swear on here?
Yeah, for
right,
sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, my homie Kenny Buford, Kenny Bars, he was like, bro, if you ain't gonna cheer for yourself, who's gonna cheer for you?
I will. I'll be there.
I was like, damn, you right. Because, like, we can be, like you said, we could be our own worst critic. And sometimes we get, we put our own foot in front of us and trip ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, comes from the insecurity of just feeling like we're not enough. We're not valuable enough to the community and to ourselves.
Yeah. And also the sense of insecurity where it's like, yo, is this person telling me like this to make me stop?
Yeah.
Should I stop achieving? Are they setting me up?
Yeah.
And so it's a funny thing. But no, you're doing a lot of good stuff in the community. Honestly, dude, I wish you could see yourself. Right?
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, okay, let me take a step back.
I wish you could see
People
it.
be like, you doing good work. And I'm like, I think.
Yeah.
But I think what they're saying is like, I'm building relationships. And that's the successful part that a lot of people see. And it's hard for me to see because this is what I be doing all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, yeah, I actually am pretty good at it, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's something you've been doing as long as I've known you. Mm-hmm. And if I would have known that all it would have took was just buy him a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
That's all he needs.
That's so true. I think it was like
Just get
my
him glasses.
senior year I started getting glasses. I was
Set
like,
it off.
astigmatism. It's funny because I started reading I started getting the books because in high school they'd be like, you got to read this book, and I wasn't really like feeling it. I felt forced to read it, but I know there's a lot of good content in it, but it's like it wasn't relatable. So I needed to read books from the autobiography of Malcolm X. I needed to read about Huey Newton. I need to learn about like spiritual leaders back in the day, like Ram Dass. And I'm like, oh, damn, okay.
Yeah.
Let me be the light that God wants me to be. Because I feel like I'm walking towards it, because there's a lot of experiences in my life that are like aligning and make sense. I'm like, okay. It seems like something's like pushing me along the way. Like, hey, this is kind of the path that will allow you to shine and use your gifts and your talents to the world.
Yeah.
And also be fulfilled. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And life is, interesting like that. There's those, moments that I have where, okay, I'm in the right spot at the right time.
Yep.
And if you're just so busy, you can easily miss a blessing. But to touch on the book thing that you said, when I went to high school, I would, or after I finished high school, I found out all this information that I didn't know, and I was kind of mad.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, man, why didn't they teach me this at school?
Yeah.
And I realized that's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? When all of this information is available for me to learn, I can't be mad at someone else for not teaching it to me.
Yep.
Right?
It's
there.
Free. You can do whatever you want.
Now go out and find it. And so, I found books and just different subjects so much more interesting because I was interested in it.
Exactly. You follow curiosity.
So you can't, at a certain point, you can't blame someone for something. You got to take the responsibility. And I'm sure as the oldest child, like, man, so this happened this way. I can't blame anyone.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
Yep.
Even if it might not be your fault.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay.
There's always something, I like to think I could have done differently or better.
Damn.
So,
Jok, let's talk about your day-to-day kind of things. Are you like a morning person? You a night person?
The thing about being a morning person, if you don't sleep, you're never going to be a morning person. So it all depends on how much you sleep.
Damn.
Yeah, if you're not getting enough
I didn't
rest,
even think about that.
Yeah, if you're not getting enough rest, you'll never be a morning person.
Yeah, my girl on my ass about that all the time.
Yeah.
Because of my narcolepsy.
Yeah.
Like, I usually be at bed, like right now.
Yeah.
But back in the day,
Wrap it up then.
Yeah. Wrap it up then.
Wrap it up then.
She'd be like, why do you stay up when you know your body's going to try and figure out ways to sleep throughout the day? I'm like, my body will do that regardless. Yeah. So I'm going to try and use this time that is free to accomplish these goals that I got.
Else.
Yeah.
I hate sitting in bed in dark like a weirdo and you ain't going to sleep. I hate that. That's super weird to me.
I'm
like,
not
am
I supposed to be up?
Yeah, I'm supposed to practice sleeping.
Yeah.
Like, if I can't sleep, let me go get this. Let me go get this done. Who am I playing with?
Yeah.
So I guess how do you deal with that? Do you find you get like a podcast or something? You listen to like sounds?
No, bro.
Like a metronome till you fall out.
I think if I start my day with this Pomodoro method of
what?
It's called Pomodoro. I'll put it up here. So it's a method of, because like I'm a distracted learner. I need something in the background for me to stay engaged. So I always have background music. So for 40 minutes, I do all the hard things of the day first. And then the 20 minutes, I give myself time to just mess around. Go on YouTube, see what's going on in the world, and then I go back 40 minutes, 20. So I think if I section out the day that way in the morning, so when I get at night, my curiosity will start to flourish because I don't have the stress of like, oh, I didn't get X, Y, and Z done today. And that won't keep me up. But it's like, oh, I had this idea. Let me try it out. Okay, I had this idea of a podcast. Okay, let me kind of outline and do like a mind map or a word map. Like, what would I want in it?
Yeah.
What I think would be valuable for people to listen. So that's what keeps me up at night, because I know like I have the ability, I have this drive ever since I was little, like Tood Man Palag. So my name, chicken, right? My mom called me chicken because I'm pecking at this, I'm pecking at that, I'm pecking at this, I'm pecking at that. So I wouldn't sit down as a child. So I just have this motor. My girl's like, why don't you ever just stop and relax?
Yeah.
It's just not me in a sense.
Do you think like maybe if you increase like your exercise, Throughout the course of the day? Because
Throughout the day, because I do it in the morning.
Because I mean, like in high school, you do all that stuff in high school. You get home, you pass out.
Oh.
Was it
easy.
like that in high school?
Yeah. High school, I didn't have the problem of like,
Life?
I wouldn't say late.
Yeah.
The worries of the world. No, I did not. I'm like, damn, who am I guarding tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, bet. I know who it is.
That's crazy because I know when we were playing y'all, you wasn't sleeping like that.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't like that.
Yeah, y'all gave us the business. I remember Derek
it.
Hoosier. You was giving Derek Hoosier the business. Will Sailors. That kid, they're not mobile enough.
No.
They was tall, but
No, I think your coach was scared for you guys. You guys played,
yeah.
you guys played zone, so I know.
I was like, me, Bud, Jordan, and Clayton. We were like, why aren't we playing man?
Yeah.
We played against these guys for a good part of our life. We kind of know how to play. So it's like, oh, now we're going to play to their play style.
Appreciate it, coach. Yeah, that was
Like
fun.
hella breakaway dunks. I'm like,
Well,
bro.
no, I think I got my first dunk of the season against you guys
At Northeast?
At Northeast.
Yeah.
Yep. Came back the next night. Watch y'all play.
It's trash.
No, it was a good time. I mentioned basketball, and what's interesting too is we obviously we grew up together, but we never took it easy on each other.
No, I'm like, yeah.
We don't do
'cause
that.
He gonna talk shit.
Yeah.
You know when I did this? Like, I don't want that.
Yeah. Luckily, you got a podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Swift. How many years? It's been what?
Oh my God.
13 years later. Better late than never, though. So, no, I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm a Nava hater.
Yeah, no, it's all good, bro.
I honestly,
You should came.
going into my junior
We had
year,
room for you.
I was like,
You should have came.
I was like, let's go to North Star. Bro.
You guys should have came.
And then we were like, because we lived right on like 27th and Vine.
Everybody else came.
For real. Yusuf came. Savante went. Yeah. I'm like, damn, we should definitely go.
We welcomed them with the arms wide open.
Man, whatever, bro.
It was a good time.
Oh, but the reason why I asked you like morning or night person, what does your morning routine look like?
Oh man, I am, to be honest, I'm not a morning person. I like to just get up and get straight to it. I'm sleep.
Get up, brush your teeth.
Yeah, I've been getting the best sleep in my life right now. These last few years, I'm getting nice with the sleep stuff. So, just like you, my mind wanders a lot, and so typically I get into that REM sleep right around that 5, to 7 time, and so I have these extremely vivid dreams. So that's when stuff is getting good.
Yeah,
and so I have to find really disturbing alarms that I hate.
Oh.
And I have to put the phone up over there.
Yep. So I have to get up.
I'm hot, I'm hot in the morning to turn off the alarm. So, definitely looking forward, to going to Africa and well, they don't sleep in over there.
No.
What I hear, maybe up at like 6.
Yeah, it's too hot.
It'd be too hot.
Sometimes, yeah.
It might be a good thing.
Yeah.
It might be a good thing for me.
I get a call from my grandpa. I'm like, Grandpa, what time is it? He's like, 6:30.
6:30.
I'm like,
huh?
You don't...
I wake up with the roosters.
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Damn.
You can't catch a rooster, right?
What does success mean to Jok?
Oh man, that is an extremely good question. So what does success mean to me? I think success means being the best person you can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how I view success. I think a lot of other, we could break it down into a bunch of different areas, but I think being the best person you can be, and that's being healthy, being accountable, being respectful. I also think being outgoing, being empathetic, and also being generous.
Ooh.
I think those are the things that mean success to me. Just because I think good things come with that foundation. Sometimes you worry about this thing way over there when if you just start right now, good things are gonna come to you. Like they say hard work beats talent, and talent don't work hard. So I think if you're just a hardworking person, that's going to lead to success. And don't complain. Yeah, I don't like complainers.
Like you could do that, but don't dwell on that. Like damn, X, Y, and Z happened. Okay, we got it out.
Yeah. it's okay to fail.
Yeah.
Right. As long as you're doing things the right way, success is going to come. Trust the process. Trust your formula.
Yeah.
And you're going to be good, I think, in the long run.
Damn.
What do you think success is?
Before I answer that, we're going to take a quick break. What does success mean to me? Huh?
Yeah.
Being fulfilled, that means I'm content with my physical health, my mental health, and being an active member in the community. Because when I do that, I could be at like service to my family, to my girl, to all my friends, but mostly to myself. So so I make room for and make space to allow people to like, I allow people to, how should I say this? I allow people to give vulnerability about their life so they can trust me, and then I can try and help them any way that I can, because there's a reason why I'm meeting you. How can I help along your journey? It might be a little bit. Oh, I know this person that could possibly help with this goal that you have. And then when I see that happen, I'm like, that's why I met that person.
Yeah.
And if it's just that one thing, good, because I helped along their journey, as people trailblaze. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important, the type of impression you leave on people and how you conduct yourself.
Yeah.
I think you never know what someone's going to remember about you.
Facts.
Right? And so it's always fun. It's always fun meeting new people. And like I was saying, you only get one chance
Facts.
at a first impression.
Yeah.
So, interviewing people like I did, I kind of like to toy around
Yeah.
with first impressions. A lot of times I get, hey, I thought you were just this really serious dude. Well, I can be.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah, but I like to have fun.
Yeah.
I think, I'm most successful from a fun, happy place.
Yeah.
Not from an angry, stress place.
No, because that's not me at my, I don't know. I don't even like when I'm mad,
Yeah.
But it's part of life.
And it is part of life. And I've realized that, man, my mad is loud.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you mad,
it's loud.
watch out, because that don't, like, especially when you show it, it's like, he really mad, because he don't really get mad.
Yeah.
Like, I told Haley, she was like, you seem like a very, like, I don't ever see you get mad and like angry at someone. I'm like, there hasn't been a time where I've been like tested to do that. Yeah. But like, if I do explode, it's like scary.
Yeah, and when I say loud, I don't mean in the sense that I'm yelling and screaming, but it's just noticeable.
Intense.
Yeah, it's just intense.
Yeah.
It's not a very inviting thing, right?
Yeah.
Because when I'm mad, it's I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
I'll
You
tell
can
you
feel
later.
it.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. Right. What's wrong? I'll tell you later. And
That's suspense.
Yeah.
Get them.
And typically it doesn't last, longer than 10, 15 minutes.
Facts.
But, I like to be left alone when I want to be left alone.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people who, hey, I need to go take a walk.
Yep.
Let me take that walk.
Yep.
That walk is important.
Yeah.
To me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let me take that walk. So, and I think that's it's a similar, or it's a good way to approach it too, because life happens. This last year has been full of a lot of different things, and I've realized in those extremely difficult moments with me, you have probably about 15 minutes to decide which way are you going to take this.
Ooh.
Or are you going to let it destroy you? Or are you going to be miserable? Or are you going to hurt? Or are you going to let it soak? Or you're going to assess it, do what you can do about it, and then move on and take it in a positive way. You really got about 15 minutes. It's dangerous.
Yes.
You got about 15 minutes to decide who you are.
Yeah.
Are you this miserable person who that's just what you're going to do? Or are you going to, I'm going to build back up.
Yep.
I'm down right now.
Yeah.
Y'all got me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get back up. It's important to acknowledge that. And I think a lot of people don't let themselves, experience.
Yeah. Like, don't push away those emotions. That's part of the whole process.
Part of the process. I got a playlist for it, like we were saying. You know what I mean? Like I want to feel all of the emotions that come with being a human.
Yeah.
My default is happy though.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like yeah, I'm gonna leave here probably gonna be happy. You know?
Yeah.
If I get into an argument somewhere, I'm gonna leave.
Yep.
Probably gonna be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's important.
Just
I
let
think.
me take my walk.
Yeah. I hope you don't think I'm somewhere sad.
Yeah.
Because of nothing.
No.
Because, you know, I'm going to be happy and I'm just a happy person. So,
Yeah. Who are 3 people who have been the most influential in your growth?
gosh, that's a really good question. I would, man, it'd be hard just to narrow it down to 3 people, right? 5.
You can group people.
I'm going to group a lot of people, right? Just because I would say my family and my friends, because I take those relationships very, very serious, right? And each person does a different thing for me, right? Why I pick just one? You know what I mean? So, and it also just depends on the different things that I'm going through in my life. Not everyone's going to be able to inspire me in every way all of the time.
Yeah,
you know.
so true.
So I like to piece things, together. I would say David Goggins, though.
Oh,
he's somewhere working out right now.
Yeah.
He's somewhere right now.
I hope you ain't on the couch being a bitch.
Getting it in, yeah. So you know when I'm slipping, I think
what would David say right here?
Whoop my ass if he found me. He found me over here doing this.
Yeah.
At the crib. So that's. What about you? Name one person.
Damn. One person.
One person.
Influential in my growth. My mom.
Okay.
My dad too, but mostly my mom.
Yeah.
She gave me a lot of principles that I still stand by today.
Yeah.
Integrity.
A lot of gems.
Honesty.
A lot of gems.
She would hate it. She's like, I told you since you were young. Don't lie to me.
I can see through you.
I raised you.
I can see through you.
I know when you lying.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I will be mad at for a little bit if you tell me the truth, but I'll be happy in the end that you told me the truth.
And you get about 10 of those. After that,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I think he's slick. Sometimes sometimes they'll let you. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. And you're like, wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, Mom. Oh, okay. It was this and this and that.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I get dealt with.
Yeah.
For sure.
What are your hobbies and activities outside of artistry?
Outside of artistry, hobbies and activities to show. I haven't hooped as much as I'd like to. So I can't say that. I've been writing a lot of music recently, so that's something that I enjoy. Going to the dog park is something that I'm big on right now.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So I love to go to the dog park.
Which one?
It's a funny place. I go out to the one on 70th Street.
Mahoney?
Yeah, Mahoney. And you know, I love the dog park. I like meeting. You know, like a lot of dogs reflect their owners. So I get
without a doubt.
I get to sit back and kind of watch. Like, oh, okay. I wonder why your dog like that. And what I find interesting at dog parks, it's one of the quietest places you can find. Dogs are hella funny, man. They be talking all that shit at home and barking at the door and this, that, to the third. You get to the dog park, they don't say shit.
Yeah.
They be quiet. I'm like, y'all funny as hell. But also, you know, during the pandemic too, it was nice to be able to get out and socialize with people. I'm a social butterfly, so it's important to me. And I could just as easily stay at home, right? I like people. I love people. I don't like people as much as I like them. So you know, I'm
with you on that, bro.
I can easily stay at the crib, but when you have a dog, it puts you out in different social situations, especially when you have a husky too.
Yeah,
you know, people want to press you a little bit. So I'm with it though. I've gotten used to it. I love it.
Okay. What are 3 things people should know about you that we didn't touch on?
3 things. What would I?
It could be random.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. Okay, I'm really good at whistling. If you ever see me around, we set something up. We have a whistling contest. I really like it. I'm really nice. Like with the whistling, I can change the vibe in a room with just one tune.
You really are about the frequencies.
Yeah. Another thing is I only listen to talk radio in my car.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, you might as well not even ride with me. Yeah. I don't want to take people right anyhow. But yeah, you get my car. Yeah, I got the aux cord, but you're not getting it. And so talk radio. That's what we're gonna listen to,
Sorry,
guys.
brother.
Yeah. Another thing, I like to draw. Yeah. So I like to sit down and draw things. Now I'm not good.
Yeah, but
it's calming.
You like the art. I mean, like the action of it.
Yeah, I like to. You know what I mean? It's nice to try to draw. To try.
Yeah.
Because that's all I'm doing right now. Right. If you can tell what it is, I'll be happy. But it's something I want to get better at. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is crazy what humans can create. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Rapid fire questions.
All right, go ahead.
When was the last time you told yourself, "I love you"?
Man, I was just telling myself a little bit ago, man. I really like this shirt. I was like, man, I love you. So just a little bit ago.
Damn.
Was that me? Yeah.
If magic was real, what spell would you try to learn first?
Oh, he's talking like spells, magic. I was hoping like superpowers, magic. Either teleportation is a spell, but definitely.
Yeah. Me too, bro.
Definitely getting loose.
What artist or band do you always recommend when someone asks you for a music recommendation?
Ooh, man, probably Coldplay or The Fray.
Bro, I think people put respect on Coldplay.
I don't know. People be like
They
solo
sleeping,
dolo.
though.
They be solo dolo with the Coldplay. Like,
Yeah.
you don't really like get around people and bump soul.
Yeah, like a
Coldplay,
Coldplay,
right?
yeah.
You got to be around somewhere else. They play it.
Yeah. Then you're like, oh, you like Coldplay?
Yeah. Then it's a sing along. Then it's okay.
Yeah.
One player.
Okay.
Sure.
If you could have coffee with any historical figure, who would you choose?
Oh, that is a super good question. With any historical figure who I choose, it has to be Tesla.
Hell yeah, Nikola.
Yeah, he look like he drink coffee.
Yeah, straight. Okay.
Yeah, we got some questions that need some answers.
What is your worst example of procrastination?
Oh my God, man! I will. Like sometimes I end up changing my own oil. Man, I'll wait till long. In the car, so I'll be like risky. I might just do this right quick. At the house, it's super bad. I am world class. I'm elite when it comes to procrastinating. Need help.
Okay. What's the worst backhanded compliment you could give someone?
Gosh. Whenever I call someone, right, and they miss my call, and they'll pick up, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm sorry you missed my call." and it makes me laugh.
That's a good one.
Every time.
Oh my! I'm about to do that.
It's great. It works.
Damn. If you received $1 million, what would be your big first buy?
$1 million? Is it or $1 billion?
I mean billion. My bad, bro.
$1 billion. My first buy.
Other than taking more stuff to Africa.
Yeah. No. That is a super rough question. Okay, my first big buy. I would either buy like an oil field in Sudan, or I would invest in like one of the most expensive pieces of farming equipment and then take it out there. And they be whacking for those.
Yeah.
So,
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
The return on investment on that would be immense.
It would be great. I would, I have a friend who's a farmer out here, and I tell him every year, yo, let me
learn something.
Let me drive the combine.
Oh, that shit got GPS too.
It do. You're just kicking
shit.
it.
Yeah.
You're just hanging out.
Spitting sunflower seeds.
Absolutely.
If a movie was made about your life, what genre would it be? It could be a mix.
It would. Oh damn! It'd be something like Coach Carter.
Oh
yeah,
shit!
Is it like a drama? It'd be something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's funny too, but it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Damn, Coach Carter's great.
Be something like that.
Okay. All right. And the last question.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy your time on Blazin A Trail Podcast?
I had the time of my life on Blazin A Trail Podcast. This is awesome. I'm so glad I was here, and hopefully, once I get back from Africa, I'll be able to return.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope so, even if it's for a little bit, and if you choose to, choose that as your home, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know.
All right.
All right, brother.
Do you have any questions for us?
No, not at the moment. I will I'll leave a comment if I do.
Do you have anything to promote?
Oh, yes. I do have some new music coming out with my friend Space God, A Trip. It's out on some songs are out on all platforms right now. Specifically a song called Assignments featuring me, Jok the Menace. That's my rap name. But we're gonna have some new music out shortly, so check that out. I think that's something you guys will enjoy. It's off a project we recorded, I think, about 3 years ago. It's called AAOD/Destiny. It stands for Against All Odds.
Ooh.
And so it's good content. It's exciting. It's some stories in there. We got some skits mixed in as well. So
Hell yeah.
I think it's something people will really enjoy.
Okay. Where can people find you and the things that you up to?
You can't.
You
really
can't.
You can't find me. I got.
He'll send it to you.
Yeah, I gotta find you. So.
All right, Jok. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, brother.
All right. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yes, sir.
I would like to thank y'all for listening to Blazin A Trail Podcast. Remember to leave a 5-star review, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment on what you learned about our guest, Jok, today.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you follow us at Blazin A Trail Podcast on Instagram. Shout out to KZUM 89.3 FM radio station and Turbine Flats. Leave you guys with this. Don't be so hard on yourself. Make sure to take action on your trail. It's either day one or one day.
That's right.
As always, Trailblazers, start with yourself because you are the one. So make it happen.
Yes, sir. We out. Yes, sir. We out. That was fun. I had fun, dude. That was exciting.
That shit's always fun, bro.
It is always good. Water good, everything good, man.